Okay, several years ago I posted a video of myself displaying my talent of naming all the presidents in around 20 seconds. Well, it's time for an update because today a new president has been added to that list. So here we go. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Marvin Vanderbilt, Lyndon Johnson, Harrison, John Tyler, James Buck, Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Gillis Brett, Rutherford B. H. James Garfield, Chester Arthur, Groveland, Ben Charles, Groveland Union, and William McKinley, Teddy Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. Now backwards. Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford, Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, John Kennedy, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Harry Truman, Franklin Roosevelt, Herbert Hoover, Calvin Coolidge, Warren G. Harding, Woodrow Wilson, William Howard Taft, Teddy Roosevelt, William McKinley, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, Grover Cleveland again, Chester A. Arthur, James Garfield, Rutherford B. Hayes, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Johnson, Abraham Lincoln, James Buchanan, Franklin Pierce, Millard Fillmore, Zachary Taylor, James Polk, John Tyler, William Henry Harrison, Martin Van Buren, Andrew Jackson, John Quincy Adams, James Monroe, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, George Washington. And now, the vice presidents. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr, George Clinton, Elbridge Gerry, Daniel Tompkins, John Calhoun, Martin Van Buren, Richard Johnson, John Tyler, George Dallas, Millard Fillmore, William King, John Breckinridge, Hannibal Hamlin, Andrew Johnson, Schuyler Colfax, Henry Wilson, William Wheeler, James Garfield, Thomas Hendricks, Levi Morton, Adlai Stevenson, Garrett Hobart, Teddy Roosevelt, Charles Fairbanks, James Sherman, Thomas Marshall, Calvin Coolidge, Charles Dawes, Charles Curtis, John Garner, Henry Wallace, Harry Truman, Alvin Barkley, Richard Nixon, Lyndon Johnson, Hubert Humphrey, Spiro Agnew, Gerald Ford, Nelson Rockefeller, Walter Mondale, George Bush, Dan Quayle, Al Gore, Dick Cheney, Joe Biden, Mike Pence.